Hello everyone, I am Dr. Kalavati Prajapati, Assistant Professor in Department of Microbiology, HVHP Institute of Postgraduate Studies and Research. Today my topic of the discussion is nutrient transport across the cell membrane. This topic is included in the BSc Microbiology semester 4 syllabus. The paper code is CMB 401. The title is Microbial Metabolisms. Now, first of all, which type of the molecules are needed by the cells? As we all know, the microbial cells, plant cells and animal cells require carbon source, methane, organic molecules, some nitrogen sources like amino acids, ammonia, ammonium containing compounds, as well as some other compounds which is act as an energy source. Now, something about the cell membrane. Okay, generally, the cell membrane is act as a transport mechanism or the transport barrier of the nutrient molecules. Okay, cell membrane membrane contains protein as well as the lipid bilayer in their structures. Some cells have the cell membranes and some have a cell wall also, like a plants, fungi and the bacteria contain a cell wall, while the animal cell doesn't contain the cell wall. Now the plant cells have a cell walls which is made up of a cellulose, while the bacterial cell doesn't contain a cellulose materials, but they contain a lipid bilayer in their structures. And cell membrane basically made up of a lipid layer which is a porous in nature, and they allow the transfer of water molecules, carbon dioxide, oxygen and the nutrients. Now the major function of the cell membrane, as we all know that the cell membrane separates the components of the cells from outer environments. That means they protect the cells, as well as the cell membrane is also known as a gatekeeper of the cells, and it having a selective permeable membrane. It is also maintain the balance, that is internal balance and outer balance of the cells. Now basically the membrane is act as a barrier because that membrane allow the transfer of the nutrient molecule except the water molecule. The basic permeability of the various substances which is essential for the microbial cells, that is water which having a 100% permeability, then glycerol, tryptophan, glucose which is having a different types of the permeability. If the molecule is chargeable, for example chlorine, potassium, sodium, okay, as the molecule charge is increased, the permeability is decreased. Now the membrane transport system is generally categorized into two different types. Either it is a passive transport mechanism or active transport mechanism. Today we are discussing with a passive transport mechanism. Passive transport mechanism is categorized or divided in three various types. That is a osmosis, diffusion, it is also known as a passive diffusion, facilitated diffusion, while the active transport mechanism is divided in three types or four types, antiport, symport, ABC system, that is the ATP binding cassette system, and the group translocation system. Now the basic concept of the transport, that is the generally a passive transport mechanism. The molecule is moving from a high concentration to the low concentration, as the passive transport doesn't require any types of the energy, while in the active transport we require the energy. So passive transport mechanism is of three types: diffusion, in diffusion the molecules moving from higher concentration to the lower concentration. The second one is facilitated diffusion. In the facilitated diffusion, again the molecule is moving from higher to the lower concentration, but by using the facility which is available in the cell membrane. And the third one is the osmosis. In the osmosis, again the cell passing a semi-permeable membrane from higher concentration to the lower concentration. Now the first one, that is a osmosis process. It is the diffusion of a water. Generally, not any other molecule is moving, but the water is moving from a one membranes to the another sides of the membrane and maintain the equilibrium of the molecules. Here the diagram shows at a higher concentration of the sugars, the water molecule is passing from one side to the another sides and maintain the balance or maintain the equilibrium of the sugar concentrations. The second, this diagram also show the same mechanism. The molecules, that is water molecule which is outer side the cells, the lipid bilayer, that is the cell membrane outer side the cells, the water molecule concentration is higher. And these water molecules are easily diffused from higher concentration to the lower concentration as the time passes and it maintain the equilibrium. The same diagrams by the experiment, that is from a hypertonic solutions to the hypertonic solutions. Okay, the molecules are moving from a hypertonic solution to hypertonics and it will create a equilibrium. Now the second mechanism, that is a diffusion, passive diffusion. So first of all, what is the diffusion? Diffusion means the molecule is moving along a concentration gradient. That means it is moving from higher concentration to the lower concentration, and that movement is driven by the thermal actions of the molecule. That is no energy output by the organism, but it is the thermal action, and it will create a concentration equilibrium till it is moving. That is the both the sides, the molecules concentration maintain at a equilibrium level. The molecules which can easily carry out the diffusion is water molecules, some gases, that is carbon dioxide, oxygen, some lipid molecules also, as well as the small uncharged polar molecules. That is this diagram show the examples of the passive diffusion. The cytoplasmic cell membrane, the oxygen molecule which is shown in a blue in color, their outer side the oxygen concentration is higher, and the inner the cells the oxygen concentration is lower, and the molecule is passing the cytoplasmic membrane through the diffusion and maintain the equilibrium till the concentration of inner and outer oxygen become equal, till the molecules are moving from higher concentration to the lower concentration. By this mechanisms, not only the oxygen but the nitrogen gas, carbon dioxide, water molecules, ethanol, as well as some urea, which is a non-polar in nature, they can easily pass through the cell membrane by using a diffusion techniques. Now, how molecule cross the cell membrane? Okay, this diagram show how the molecules are moving from higher concentration to the lower concentration. See, at both the mechanisms, not only from outer cells to the inner cells, but if the molecules are in higher concentration, for example, some toxic compound, that is a carbon dioxide gases, which is released by the cells. If it is in a higher concentration inside the cells, then it is also released outside. And the oxygen molecule, which is required by the cell, if it is present in a higher concentration outside the cells, and it is moving inside the cells. So this shows how the molecules are moving. Now the oxygen molecules, which is a non-polar, carbon dioxide molecule, as well as the water molecule, can easily diffuse through the lipid bilayer of the membrane. Now the passive diffusions through the channel protein. Okay, how the passive diffusion is occurred into the lipid bilayer. So they are using the proteins which are binded into the lipid bilayer structure, that is a membrane proteins. It is also known as a channel protein, which can easily pass the molecules. Either they are the water molecules, or they are the gaseous molecules, or any other types of non-polar molecules. So this is the figure which shows how the water molecule cross the lipid bilayer structures. Now the third mechanism is the facilitated diffusion. The name itself suggests the diffusions through the facility. Facilitated diffusion means the diffusions through the facility which is available on the cell membrane. So over here, the same mechanisms of the diffusion is occurred, but the cell or the molecules which want to diffuse, they utilize the facility available on the cell membrane. The diffusion which is added by the carrier protein, and that carrier protein is the proteins which are present on the cell membrane, that is known as a membrane bound protein. The best example is the permease, which is present on the cell membrane. Okay, that permease allow the molecules to come inside as well as allow the molecules to come outside and maintain the equilibrium into the cells. It is powered by the potential energy. That means it doesn't require the cell energy. The concentration gradient does not require the expenditure of the any types of the metabolic energy. Not highly important into the prokaryote. Generally, it is occurred into the eukaryote. But some bacterial cells, that is the also carry out the facilitated diffusion. See over here, that is the diagrams how the molecules are diffused by using the facilitators. In this, the nutrient molecules which is outside the cell in a higher concentrations, and they are specifically binds to the permease protein, that is known as the facilitated proteins, and then after it entered into the proteins, after that it come inside, or the protein configuration is change in its shapes, and it allow the molecules, that is nutrient molecules, inside the cell. Okay, now again the hypertonic solutions, again the molecules are moving, or it will carry out the diffusions. The first is the hypertonic solution. What it means, that is hypertonic solution means it contain a higher concentration of a solutes relative to the another solution. That means the cell cytoplasms which contain a higher concentration of a solutes, and outer the cells it is a lower concentration. So sometimes if this kind of the diffusion is not occur, the cells causing a thrilling. The another one is a hypotonic solution, means it contain a lower concentration of the solutes and relative to the another solutions. Okay, same over here. The water molecules is lower inside the cells. So that means it is a hypotonic reactions or hypotonic conditions. And in that cases, cells cause a swellings, and sometimes it will possible to burst out the cells. And the third condition, which is known as isotonic conditions. In that isotonic condition, the same concentration at the outside the cell as well as the inside the cell. That means that both the side, the solute concentrations is same at another solutions. That means in that conditions, the cell or the water can easily diffuse into the and outside the cells. See over here, that is a hypotonic solution. Cell cytoplasms contain a higher solute concentration inside the cells. In the hypertonic solutions, that is the nutrient concentration is higher at the outside the cell cytoplasm. By the isotonic solution, nutrient concentrations is equilibrium at both the sides, inside as well as the outside the cells. Okay, this one is the best example of the red blood cells. Okay, where the water molecules, if the hypertonic solution is there, the red blood cells are strills, while in the isotonic solutions, the red blood cells are remain in their normal conditions. And when in the hypotonic solution, the red blood cells absorb the waters and it will burst out, swells, and then after burst out. Now, the important points about the facilitated diffusions. Generally, the facilitated diffusion is carried out by using a carrier protein, which is known as a permease, or it is also known as a channel protein. And this facilitated diffusion results in an equal concentration of a nutrient inside and outside the cells. And this pot, which is involved into the facilitated diffusion, is known as a unipot. Unipot means uni means a single. It allows only a passage of one type of the molecules. So the uniporters are the transport protein that transport a substance across a membrane down a concentration gradient from an area of a greater concentration to the lesser concentration. That means from a high concentration to the low concentration, the molecules are moving by a uniporter, that is a unipot protein. And this protein utilize the energy, it is the potential energy, not a cell metabolic energy. This one is a diagrams of a unipot, that is a transport protein. The orange color protein which shows the transport proteins, and the nutrient molecules which is higher outside the cells, and it will moving inside the cells by using the potential energy. So over here, that is about the passive transport mechanisms. Thank you very much.